Hi everyone, welcome back to our doubles tennis tactics series. Last week we introduced Australian doubles and I formation. Today we will focus on serving team patterns of play. So let's start with poaching per command. As we discussed in the previous chapter, poaching per command or signal is achieved by coordinating a poaching action between the server and server partner, either verbally or by using a signal. This poach is very safe since both players agree to switch at the same time. The net player tries to intercept the cross-court return and the server covers the potential down-the-line return. Then we talked about Australian doubles. Just a reminder, the Australian formation referred to positioning where both members of the serving team are on the same side at the start of the point. In the previous topic, we analyzed I formation, which was the tactic where the serving team is positioned almost in a straight line, and I formation is more effective than Australian doubles because the receiver does not know when the service partner will move. In week number 6, we took a closer look on lobs, and in this section we answered two critical questions. First one was who should take the lob and who should chase down the lob. The next serving team pattern is called the wall. The wall refers to both players of the serving team choosing to stay in their positions at the net to volley back their opponent's drives. It is common against both players at the baseline who are trying to challenge the net players with their big ground strokes. The serving team at the net will remain steady until they receive a weaker shot or a lob. Now, let's take a closer look at lateral positioning when both players are at the net. In our scenario, we have the serving team, we have the server's partner and the server, and then we have the receiver in the doubles alley who is hitting the second shot to the serving team. Now, the serving team has to be able to cover the territory between the two best and most extreme shots, which would be the shot down the line, which is the line number 1, and the short angle shot cross court, line number 2. By dividing this territory in a half, which is represented by line number 3, we can now see what is the service partner responsibility, anything to the left of the line number 3, and what is the service responsibility, anything to the right of line number 3. Now in the next slide we will take a look at the lateral court movements when both players are at the net. So this situation takes place when both players on the receiving team are on the baseline and the serving team is at the net. The players move together as if attached by rope, to the right or to the left according to which member of the team will hit the shot. So for example, when the ball goes to the receiver number 1, the net players move to their position 1. So the service partner would move to the left and cover the doubles alley, and the server will shift with him to his position, to number 1, and would cover the middle. When the ball goes to receiver's partner, position 2, then the service partner would go back to the center and then shift to position number 2. As well, the server would recover to the center of the service box and then shift to position number 2 to cover the alley. So as you can see, regardless where the ball goes, they both moving as a team as if attached by a rope. In the next slide, we have a serving team against one up, one back formation. So we have the serving team at the net here, and then we have the receiving team one up, there you go, one up, one back, and the serving team plays volley back to the receiver at the baseline until he misses or provides an easier ball which they can finish the point. The challenge is to make a quick decision on shot selection in order to volley effectively. When able to play a punch volley or a smash, players at the net aim in between the players, which would be represented by the dotted red line number 1 down the middle. When receiving balls that are lower or more difficult to play, players will play either a defensive shot back to the baseliner, which would be line number 2, or an offensive shot like an angled or drop volley, which would be the dotted line number 3, to the player who is positioned on the baseline. Now, in the next slide, we take a look at shot selection against both players in the back. This is a very common tactic on clay courts or defending against aggressive serving team who often poaches or uses I formation. The serving team at the net should use the wall if there are drives and try to volley back against the weaker player, who should be the first either to miss or provide an easier ball. To create openings, the serving team at the net can select from 4 shots. He can play to the weaker player, either the receiver's partner or the receiver. He can hit down the middle, which is the line number 1, to open up the court to the side of the player who will hit the ball. They can hit an angle to remove the player from his baseline position and then volley between the 2 players, which is line 2. And finally, they can hit a drop shot and either play to the open court or hit back to the player who chased the drop shot. Finally, we can have a situation where we have all 4 players at the net, the serving team and the receiving team, and in this scenario, the serving team seeks to isolate the weaker player, looking for a mistake or an easy ball to put away. The key is to keep the ball low, since any floater will signal the end of the point and potentially be physically dangerous. The serving team has 3 options. Like we said, they can either isolate the player with a weaker volley, they can out-rally the opponents in duel of quick volleys, or they can set up a put-away volley with an angled volley. Thank you for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please post them on our Monroe Sports Center Facebook page. In case you missed any of the previous topics, you can view them on Monroe Sports Center YouTube channel under video section. And next week we are going to close this series with receiving team patterns, and then I will give you a few doubles tips. Again, thank you for watching. Be safe and stay healthy, and we hope to see you back on the tennis courts very soon. Have a great day.